true crime podcast where best friends and next door neighbors, Willow and Lillian, spill the tea on murder, mysteries, and other things that go bump in the night. So get your favorite teacup ready and let's get into it. Welcome to Cruelty Podcast. This is Lillian, and with me is Merris.
Hello.
Hello.
Yeah.
It's cold.
It's cold.
Suddenly.
Not
it's very
too
nice.
bad.
I love it.
Yeah.
Yeah. I hope you guys are having fall.
I hope everyone has a fall wherever they are.
And it's nice.
Yeah.
Look, I know we have some friends in like Australia, and they're going into like
Spring?
I guess summer.
I don't know.
Look, we're stupid.
Yeah.
Okay?
No, I don't know anything.
Yeah. But if you're in a place that has a fall, I hope it's great.
Yeah. Happy autumn.
Yeah. So we're gonna talk about some UFOs today.
Thank God.
Thank God.
Yeah, I didn't want no true crime snuck in here.
I'm not sneaking none in here, although, I don't know, I think a lot of crimes did take place.
I'm sure that, yeah, like all UFO is a crime.
Yeah, we'll arrest the aliens.
Yeah.
Yeah. And we'll make them spread them cheeks when we do the
Clap
split
them
search.
cheeks.
We're not going to clap them, we're going to spread them.
Wow.
Yeah. So, don't get excited or get your hopes up for this story. We'll discuss it at the end.
Okay.
But it pisses me off. Okay.
Oh, okay.
So this is the Rendlesham Forest UFO thing, and Rendlesham is the most British sounding word I've ever heard.
It could have been like Shire Ham something.
That's another one, just
Yeah.
like Worcestershire, Hampshire.
Wow. You want some
fine.
tea with that? Jeez.
I do, thank you very much.
Yeah.
I do like a good tea.
I'm not going to pretend to be British. It won't work.
Merris cannot do a British accent, and when he tries, it is bad and funny.
And the best thing about Britain is Scotland.
Oh, no.
Come for me, Brits. I don't care.
Send all your hate mail to merrisasterios@gmail.com.
I'm sticking up for the Scottish people and their awesome little like kilt things and.
I do love a Scottish accent.
Yeah.
Look, and no offense, Scotland, it's almost as good as Ireland's accents.
I don't know.
They're different flavors of a
here.
similar thing, and I'm sure they won't like that either. But
Yeah, they're all gingers, so.
Okay, so before I get started, though, I wanted to take a brief moment and talk about Tom DeLonge's from Blink-182's new movie.
We had that breaking UFO news that we watched his movie.
We did, Monsters of California. So here's my take, okay?
God.
Don't fucking waste any time or money on this absolute dog pile shit crap movie. Fuck.
And you might be asking, what is a Tom DeLonge?
He's the lead singer of Blink-182.
Yeah.
And you may be thinking, as Merris was about to say, but I interrupted him because I'm stupid. You may be asking, what does that twerp have to do with UFOs? Well, it's stupid. So back a while ago, when WikiLeaks leaked a bunch of emails from like Hillary Clinton and John Podesta, who was like, wasn't he her campaign manager?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, there were a bunch of emails from John Podesta to fucking Tom DeLonge, and you may think, but why? Not because he wanted him to play like some kid's birthday party like you'd think. But
That's what he's good for, yeah.
Yeah. But they were talking about UFOs. So Tom DeLonge's been read in for some fucking reason. At this point, I think disinformation.
Yeah, it's stupid because To the Stars is registered as a like a media production thing.
Yeah, it's a production company.
Advertisement. I think that's what they're registered.
They should advertise
your butt.
Your butt.
Yeah.
Your mom.
Your mom.
So the movie, first of all, I don't know about y'all. I'm a 44-year-old woman, and I do not want to watch a movie about fucking teenagers. I don't like teenagers.
Well, he was trying to do like a story narrative to talk about the UFO phenomenon.
Yeah. I'm not gonna be able to describe this movie to you because I fell asleep several times. And when I wasn't asleep, I wished I were.
It was the dumbest thing I'd ever seen. Okay, because I get what he was trying to do. Like I said, he was trying to tell a story to tell the truth in the UFO. So it's about these
entertaining
kids
way
that went to like explore a haunted house, and as they did, UFOs and Bigfoots, they all showed up. I was about to say Boogerfoot, but that's
Boogerfoot. It's a new cryptid.
I love Boogerfoot. I'm here for Boogerfoot. I'm just stupid. I'm sorry. And and during the movie, Bigfoot peed on the children. Like, I'm not like making that up.
He's like, no. Bigfoot's pissing in my eyes. And I was like, what am I watching?
What is this and why? Because at one point, it was like they were trying to, at first it started off as a horror movie because there was poltergeist stuff.
Yeah.
And then they moved to like comedy, like Bigfoot suddenly in the middle of the scary stuff, like pissed on all these children for no reason.
Also, I don't want to see children kiss other children. I don't want to see teenagers making out.
And then he tried to be Stranger Things, and it wasn't. It was just a strange thing.
Oh my God, you're right. He tried to do a Stranger Thing.
But it wasn't. It was just a strange thing.
It was a stupid thing.
Yeah.
He did a stupid thing. It had real big problems with tone, like Merris said.
You could,
and pacing.
Is this serious or fucking not? Obviously not, you know?
Because there were so many talks about dick and how the guys were like, oh, what are you trying to do? Are you gay? Like, let's touch tips.
And
it was that
always
kind of stuff.
They talked like they were Joe Rogan the whole movie.
Oh my God, it was so awful. And here's something else too. Teenagers don't look 37. Everyone in this movie was like, I'm 17. And I was like, no, you're about to file for retirement. I don't understand why you're so old.
It was produced by Chicken Soup of the Soul.
Chicken Soup for the Soul, weird. Which has produced many propaganda evangelical bullshit films.
What's up with that? I don't know.
It's, you get to the okay, if you've been into UFOs as long as I have, and you're a left-leaning person, it's frustrating because there's so much right-wing cockamamie bullshit mixed in with my awesome UFOs.
Well, I'm at the point, and I've said this to you in the privates, but I'll say it to you in the publics. I feel that the UFO has gone complete QAnon.
Yeah, it has.
And I'm just watching it unfold as it were a soap opera. I don't believe or not believe, because I've seen weird stuff, and that's what I was here for. But at this point... At this point, come on.
It's getting stupid. And you know what? If the truth is stupid, fine. But I don't know that I care. Okay.
But, yeah.
On with the show.
Yeah.
That was my review of Tom DeLonge's Monsters of California. 2 big flaming turds down.
I mean, if you come in knowing it's bad, it's fine.
I knew it wasn't going to be good, but it was worse than The Room. At least The Room is so bad it's funny. This is just tedious and dumb.
Yeah.
God damn, it's mad that I spent $4. I could have spent $4 on them fucking snack cakes, the little Debbie long chocolatey ones.
I don't know what they're called.
Little layer cake things.
Very good.
Fucking A. Go get some of them.
Yeah.
Take my word for it. So it was the day after Christmas in 1980, just outside of the Royal Air Force Woodbridge Base in the UK, around 3 a.m. when the lights in the sky started appearing. Cold War tensions were high, and if you weren't alive during this time or very young, because I would have been a year old, it's hard to understand how scared everyone was of nuclear war. So when these lights appeared in Rendlesham Forest near the Royal Air Force Base in Woodbridge, naturally it put everyone on high alert. The U.S. was using this base, and a security patrol saw the lights descend into the trees, thinking it was a downed aircraft of some kind. Part of that security detail was USAF security guard John Burroughs. He took his team to investigate. He was afraid it was a Soviet spy plane, and when they arrived... it was not a craft from this world.
Oh, dang.
Yeah. The lights descended about a mile away from the base's main runway, and the air felt particularly charged, like it was full of static electricity. The lights flashed all different colors, red and blue, yellow and green, sometimes like a strobing effect, other times pulsing slowly. It was a dizzying array. U.S. Staff Sergeant Bud Steffens, that's a funny name.
Hey, Bud.
Hey, Bud. Also accompanied Burroughs and a security team. They fully expected, like, just a crashed aircraft, maybe like even like a little biplane or something.
Right.
But they hadn't heard any crash. So there's that. They called in the situation from their guard shack at the east gate of the base. They used a secured line because they didn't want anyone listening in case it was like some kind of international incident. Staff Sergeant Jim Peniston was on the on-duty flight chief at Woodbridge, and he was the one who took the call from Steffens and Burroughs. So he decided to go check it out, too, and he took Airman Edward Cabansag. I had to say it slow because it's a crazy name.
I love that name.
All 4 men headed out to the East Gate to investigate what they were sure was a crashed plane. They called other nearby Air Force bases, but none of them had any reports of downed aircraft. They also called Heathrow Airport. Nothing there either. But something odd did show up on their radar. About an hour before the lights sunk into the trees of Rendlesham, a radar technician reported a bogey. Now, a bogey is an identified airplane, usually.
Not Boogerfoot?
Not Boogerfoot? No.
Okay.
Not Humphrey Bogart.
Oh, okay.
No.
Okay.
But, just, it doesn't mean UFO. It just means, hey, there's something flying around. We don't know what it is. Yeah. And then, as the lights showed up, it disappeared over the base, over Woodbridge. So the order came down for the men to check out the forest, and they headed out of Eastgate into Rendlesham. They went down a public logging road that led deeper into the woods, but as soon as they got on this logging road, all of their communication equipment just went to shit. Like, nothing would work. Now, the walkie-talkies would still work, but only like a few feet away from each other. If you went any further than that, then they're fucking
useless. They get the kid walkie-talkies, and like...
No, they have military walkie-talkies, honey.
These are bad walkie-talkies.
No, they are great walkie-talkies.
Fine.
The men thought it was like signal jamming, like something, because that's a thing your enemy can do, technology and whatnot. But yeah, the forest was all crazy with noise.
Yeah.
And there were farms close by to Rendlesham, and the men reported hearing farm animals crying out in alarm and fear, like screaming, and wild animals.
Yeah.
And so everybody was starting to get a little bit freaked out. They kept searching for this downed aircraft they were sure was there. As soon as the men stepped into the clearing, it lit up like fucking Christmas time.
Dang.
A bright light illuminated everything like it was noon, not 3 a.m. in the morning. And this is winter, so it was still super dark. Finally, they saw the craft. It wasn't a Russian spy plane. It was a metallic craft with multicolored flashing lights. And as they drew closer, the animals stopped screaming. And everything went quiet. The men could feel, again, the electricity in the air. Everything almost seemed to, like, vibrate. Penniston said he could feel it, like, crawling over his skin. The craft was a triangular shape, but kind of saucery, like it was domey on the top and the bottom.
Cone-heady.
Yeah, a little bit. Penniston approached it first and actually touched it. It hovered only a few feet off the ground. The metallic craft was warm and very smooth, and when he touched it, he said it was less like metal and more like black polished glass. He also saw engravings on the sides of it that reminded him of like Egyptian hieroglyphics. He jerked his hand away because he's like, what am I doing? I shouldn't touch this.
No, get in there.
And everything went bright white again. The second his vision cleared, Penniston took out a notebook that he carried with him, and he drew a bunch of diagrams and wrote down as many details as fast as he could. After a few minutes, the craft began to very slowly ascend, and Penniston reported it took at least 3 minutes for it to clear the top of the trees. That is slow as fuck.
Right? I'd be like, hurry the fuck up and get out of here.
Like, stay or go, bitch.
Right? What are you doing?
Okay, so we live in the Ozarks. They are very, very hilly and lots of curves, right?
Yeah.
And tourists come here and drive 2 miles an hour. You need momentum to get up the hill.
My favorite was that dude that was like going slower up the hill.
I'm like, why are you my car is a 4-cylinder. It is going to explode. Go.
Go drive.
That's how I feel about the UFO.
Yeah.
Penniston described the craft like this. He said it was 3 meters tall and 3 meters wide. We're dumb, ding-dong Americans.
How many bananas?
Well, guess what?
What?
I found a thing online that converts any measurement to bananas.
Thank God. All this time, we just couldn't. I don't know how to measure. Like when I'm making a painting, or they're like, I want an 8 by 10. I'm like, sir, convert it to bananas.
How many bananas is that?
Yeah. Jesus.
So it was almost 17 bananas tall and almost 17 bananas wide.
Oh, my God.
It's not as big as you think.
Something I can understand.
Yeah, it had no landing gear.
Yeah.
When the craft was gone, the men saw a few indentations in the earth where it had been, but not really anything else. As the men readied themselves to return to Woodbridge, they talked about what had happened, and the only men left at this point are Penniston and Burroughs. The other two guys fucked off. They went, UFO, run away. Yeah. And when they got back to the road they'd been on, nobody was there. And they're like, what the fuck?
Well, it was 3 a.m.
They were with a couple guys, and they'd only been in the woods a couple minutes, right?
Okay.
So they get back to the road, and everybody's gone.
Yeah.
As they go further down the road, they do encounter the other men that had been with them, and they're like freaking the fuck out.
Right.
They're like, where the hell were you? And they're like, just where you left us, dumbass. They had been gone 45 minutes. And so they had called in a search party for Burroughs and Penniston, but they called back and called it off. Yeah, missing time. That is like a classic UFO experience.
Yep.
Penniston started feeling unwell. He was very dizzy, his head hurt. He was having issues with vertigo and being able to stand on his feet. And then he had a vision.
Yeah.
Thanks for the noises.
Yeah.
The schwa is very important.
Yeah, we don't have any drops, so.
And we'll talk about his fucking dumbass lying visions later.
Yeah.
An hour after the sighting at around 4 a.m. on the 26th of December, records show that the U.S. military did call the British authorities. At the same time, British police arrived on scene, like after some time. And the only lights they saw in the woods were from a nearby lighthouse. So keep that in mind. The deputy base commander, Lieutenant Colonel Charles I. Halt, to the Ministry of Defense, arrived at Woodbridge, and he was fucking annoyed.
Yeah.
Because he didn't have time for no UFO bullshit.
This is dumb, and I agree.
He ordered his staff sergeant to log the event, and they used vague terms because he was like, I don't want to have to file any reports on this stupid crap. Because he was embarrassed.
Right.
Regardless of Halt trying to downplay the whole thing, the early morning base was just buzzing about UFOs. Right before dawn, a group of U.S. military guys went to the site the craft was sighted at, and they saw the indentations, and they also saw marks on all the trees. That was weird. And since the ground was frozen, because it's winter fucking time, it would have had to have been really heavy or warm to have made those indentations.
Right.
Penniston went home, and he tried to get some rest, but he couldn't sleep. He felt a strange compulsion. He had to get back to the site where he saw the craft. He went back, he couldn't keep himself from it. And he brought plaster of Paris with him to take molds of the indentations.
Plaster of de Paris.
That's what they used to get the boogerfoot indentations too.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah. Boogerfoot's a thing now.
Yeah, definitely.
We're going to make it happen. The following day and a half was uneventful, and then on the evening of the 28th, there was a big awards dinner at Woodbridge, and all the officers were there, including Halt. Bursting through the door was the duty shift commander, and he entered up dinner in a very dramatic fashion. He went over to Halt, and he whispered in his ear, and he said, "Sir, it's back."
Oh.
So Holt begrudgingly got a team together and went to investigate, clearly determined to put this UFO crap to bed. They all brought equipment like cassette recorders, Geiger counters, cameras, and the good stuff. Holt always carried a tape recorder wherever he went and was obviously not super fun at parties.
Right. He sounds like a real psycho.
He sounds like an annoying bastard.
Yeah.
So he recorded the whole 4 to 5 hours of this investigation.
It's a couple tapes at that time.
It's one side and then the other.
Yeah.
Oh, no.
It's a couple tapes.
It's a couple fucking tapes.
Yeah, it's a real fucking nerd.
Fuck this guy.
Yeah.
The team went to the landing site of the original craft, and through the trees, they saw some red lights flying around. They took the Geiger counter to the indentations. They threw off a little bit of radiation that was slightly higher than the surrounding area. Mm-hmm. But I'd like to note that it was still within normal range. So don't get a boner over
I
this.
did, but I put it down.
There, your boner went away. I just killed it.
Yeah.
Everything was deathly silent. They took samples from the trees and from the soil and crap. The trees also had a little bit of radiation going on. When thermal imaging was used, they could see the ground where the craft had landed, and the trees around it were all warmer than everything else. And then at 2 a.m., the animals started behaving crazy again, and they were screaming. The red light then hovered over the clearing before moving through the trees. Holt and his men followed it. It started moving towards them. A second light appeared. And then the lights were shooting off bright yellow sparks. And then a third appeared.
Yeah.
Everything fell into chaos. A beam of light shot out of one of the balls of light in the sky.
There were balls in the sky, and they were shooting.
Balls in the sky, and they're shooting out shit.
Yeah.
And struck the ground about 10 feet away from Holt. They said the light was like a laser, and while it didn't harm anything or like the ground or vegetation, it was just weird. And the men felt that it was scanning. How do you feel something scanning?
Beep, 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 like that.
Oh, is it the feeling you get when a cop is right behind you?
Yes.
You're like, I am being fucking scanned.
I am being scanned right now.
Quit scanning me.
Yeah, back off.
Go solve
These
some
are my
crimes.
drugs.
These are my drugs, but don't worry about it. I'm just a mom. Leave me alone.
It's fine.
Yeah. So one interesting thing to note is a lot of people are like, well, the Woodbridge wasn't even a very important base. In 1980, the U.S. secretly stored nukes there.
Okay, let me back this up. Is there such a thing as an unimportant military base?
No.
Like no one.
That's stupid.
Yeah, that's dumb.
Well,
like, we don't care about this one.
Well, it wasn't particularly strategic or anything, and it was just. But we stored nukes there without the British knowing because we're cunts.
That seems like it's against some kind of agreement.
That's what I said. There's true crime in this.
But that's not the kind of true crime I want.
Now, this can't be confirmed because, of course, the U.S. is like, no, we didn't.
You did it.
You did it. It's your nukes.
It's yours.
I'm telling Mom, I'm taking my ball and going home.
my sky ball.
No. At the same time this was happening, local police in the area were like super busy because there were tons of calls from citizens about lights in the sky.
Yeah.
So this case is confusing.
Well, I guess, yeah.
In the months following all of this, Burroughs and Penniston started having serious health problems. But Penniston never talks about his and has no proof.
Have you ever tried like taking a glass of water and walking around?
Sir, do you have high blood pressure?
Have you tried walking? Have you tried that?
Yeah. Take a nap. Drink a glass of water. Does your tummy hurt? Take a poop.
Right.
You know, that sort of thing. Anyway, Penniston developed a heart condition, deteriorating eyes. I don't know what that means.
I do. Terrible. It sounds like you need glasses.
You need some glasses.
Yeah.
And he got throat problems from sucking dick. No, I'm just kidding. I don't know.
I like this version better.
Allegedly. Because I made it up, so don't sue me. These are symptoms of someone exposed to high levels of radiation. Burroughs years later requested his health records from the U.S. Air Force, and his request was denied. At that point, the U.S. military wouldn't even admit that Burroughs had served in the military at all. Everything about Rendlesham episode was top secret classified. Doctors eventually diagnosed his condition as radiation exposure, akin to being microwaved.
He should have gotten out of the microwave.
Don't go in there. You're not a hot dog.
There.
You're not a hot pocket.
No.
You're not a pizza roll.
No,
you're a man.
What the fuck's wrong with us?
Oh, we're unhinged. There's just no hope.
No.
And this forced the military to finally address things. Many of the men present for the two encounters were also sick, and some were even granted medical disability. Burroughs' medical records are still classified to this day, and he has tried repeatedly to get financial compensation for this, to be denied repeatedly. They hate him. I don't know. Penniston's visions plagued him. Mm-hmm. He would see ones and zeros, and so he wrote them all down in his little notebook.
Oh, he wrote a diary?
He had a little diary of made-up crap.
Yeah.
When he would look at his little notebook, he'd be like, oh, making my tummy hurt. But then if he wrote down the numbers, he felt better. And finally, the vision stopped. He had written down all the numbers that appeared to him.
Has he read that one book, like the Da Vinci Code? Is that what?
No.
Okay.
I mean, maybe.
Because I read that too, and that, you know.
And then he's like, I'm going to put this notebook away. And he just forgot the fuck about it for 30 years.
Forgot about his little diary?
He forgot about his little notebook. I have thoughts, but we'll get to him in a minute.
Yeah.
In 2010, he was doing an interview about the Rendlesham incident for the television show. And then he pulled out his notebook to show the reporter his little doodles of the UFO. And that's when he saw the ones and zeros again. And he's like, oh, this shit. And the reporter was like, whoa, what is that?
What does that mean? What's that matrix?
What is it? And he was like, oh, well, I just downloaded this information from the UFO like you do.
No big deal.
From my visions. And the interviewer was like, is that binary code?
Whoa.
Peniston was like, what? I don't know what binary code is because I'm a liar.
Yep.
And so they sent the numbers to a fucking computer guy who did know binary code.
It's like we're from the future.
Beep,
Boogerfoot
beep,
is coming.
Beep, the computer technician, who hadn't been informed of the number's otherworldly origin, was shocked when he decoded it.
We are aliens.
It was a message from the future.
Take us to your big titties.
And here's what it said. Exploration of humanity continuous. Continuous for planetary advance. Eyes of your eyes. Origin year 8100. Now, take what you want from that. I don't know what the fuck any of that means.
Stupid RP is what that is.
It is a LARP. This is a LARP. It is a make-believe pretend. This guy makes me so mad because I think the Rendlesham UFO thing's legit, but he's so full of shit. Ooh, like a Christmas turkey. Yeah, he took it way too far. He just wanted to RP being a handsome, important, special boy. Yes. And he's none of those things. No. He looks like a foot. That was mean. Not going to apologize because he's a fucking liar.
Okay.
The rest of the message, this is so dumb, were coordinates for locations around the world.
Oh, okay.
That's the only Jennifer Coolidge you're going to get from me today, including the Nazca lines in Peru and the pyramids of Giza.
Can you say it like, I want a hot dog real bad?
I want a hot dog real bad.
Yes.
Oh, the final location was in the middle of the ocean, and it was labeled in the message as Origin.
Is that where Cthulhu is?
Yeah.
Yeah.
The origin of these lies.
Yeah.
Jim Peniston thought this was a message from us from the future, warning us of a disaster we're now unable to stop. So what's the fucking point? Throw your little notebook in the fire, Jim.
Right, stupid RP.
Stupid. Okay, so now that we've laid out the whole story, which seems pretty fantastical and amazing, let's break down how, like, 90% of this is absolute bullshit.
Okay.
All right?
It'd ruin everything.
First is the discrepancy of the date of the first sighting. Official witnesses are all like it was on the 26th. But Peniston's statement, while undated, cites the incident as happening on the 27th, for he's a liar.
Well, I mean, I screw that one up all the time.
That's not too bad, but we're going to get more bad as it goes on. Holt didn't even file the incident with the military. He made a memo about it many weeks later, on January 14th, 1981. But some of the witnesses Holt interviewed for this memo said their statements had been changed and they were forced to sign the memo anyway. Burroughs' statement said the light was from the lighthouse. Mm-hmm. Burroughs thought the blue and red lights were from a police cruiser somewhere nearby. Mm-hmm. Peniston remains the only witness to still assert that he saw a craft. Peniston at first said that he only got within 50 meters of the craft, which is a lot of bananas. But later, naturally, that story would change. The missing time wasn't reported until years later and only after regression hypnosis. Or as I like to call it, you don't have a memory of that? I'm going to give you one.
Okay.
Yeah, it's bullshit. It was during the hypnosis that the story about touching the craft emerged, and this happened years after the incident. Burroughs has changed his story multiple times, too. Holt later claimed that the witnesses of the Rendlesham Forest UFO had been subjected to mind control and hypnosis, but he was lying. That didn't happen. No one else said that. He's the only one who said it.
Right.
I don't think all those men could have been mind-controlled and hypnotized so much that they'd have no memory of the incident or whatever. Like, he's trying to claim there wasn't a UFO. They were just brainwashed or something. While Holt has an entire 5-hour recording of that night, he has only released 18 heavily edited minutes of the audio.
Okay.
And when they're like, well, release the rest, he's like, suck my dick, no.
Wow.
Yep. And he's like, well, they're like, well, then release the 18 minutes unedited. And he's like, I'm not going to do that. Go fuck yourself.
Yeah, okay.
Then it showed that I'm a big fat liar. The notebook, Peniston's notebook, is bullshit. So there's so much written in it that even if he'd been there for like 3 hours, there's no way he could have
He just
written
wanted
all
to
that.
draw.
No, he just made up stories.
Yeah.
He should have just said, alien with big booba came out and said, I was an American hero.
Yes, sir. What's this, like, big titty Bigfoot in this notebook?
Well, that's Stella Luna from the planet Abraxas.
Oh, okay.
And we made sweet love that night in Rendlesham.
Yeah, okay.
We had a bit of tea.
Babies.
Well, she said on her planet, the men were all like limp dick cucks, so she needed a real man.
Makes sense.
Obviously. Yeah. What have I done?
I don't know. Should we edit this? Should we edit?
No, absolutely not.
Okay.
Many witnesses said there was no UFO. Most people at the base, though, who said there was a UFO also didn't know there was a lighthouse nearby that could be seen from the woods.
I mean, but the lighthouse don't make crazy lights, right? They just flash like in an interval. Like
I'm going to address that in a minute. The marks on the trees, they were hatchet marks that lumberjacks make, showing what trees they're going to cut down next.
Right.
That's rude. Very scary for the trees.
Yeah, right. This is the mark of death here, tree.
Yeah, and his buddies are like, oh man, they got you, dude. And they're like, what? Where is it? They're like, it's on you. I can't see it. It's on your back.
Because you don't have eyes, you're a stupid tree.
He's like, oh, right. Can you see it? I don't know. So the screaming in the forest of the animals, it's from a special kind of deer they have in the UK called the muntjac deer.
Okay.
It makes a crazy ass screaming noise. I won't mimic it because it's loud.
Right.
But I listened to it. And it is very frightening. It sounds like a person hollering.
Okay.
Yeah.
You stupid hollering deers up there.
And they holler back and forth to each other. Like many of them will holler at once. Very common noise.
Awful.
How
awful
do you
animals.
even sleep? Go kill them all.
Right.
England, you're colonizers. You are good at killing folks.
That's right.
Kill them deer. That's annoying. Also in 1980, the British Air Force had parachuted into the base as a prank. But since, we were storing fucking nukes there, the U.S. military flipped the fuck out, held these men for 48 hours, and subjected them to very intense interrogation before releasing them.
We have no chill.
We don't. This was never reported by the British military because they didn't want to get their buds in trouble. And the guys who parachuted in said that what they did later was fake a UFO with flashy lights and stuff.
Okay.
As a prank to get back at them for the interrogation. I find this story bullshit.
I don't
in
like
its entirety.
That story.
It doesn't make any fucking sense.
No, that's very dumb.
If I were subjected to intense interrogation for 48 hours, you couldn't pay me to go back there.
Right, let alone a prank in which
Yeah, we'll show them. We'll make them think it's aliens.
That's some dumb shit.
Nobody believes that.
Yeah.
Also, the only person that reported this was anonymous. I do not believe it.
No.
Here's fun. In 2003, Peniston gave a television interview where he flipped through his stupid little notebook. He would have seen the binary code. And the binary code was written in the American style of binary code that was not in use until the early 2000s. Mm-hmm. And it was not commonly used or widely known. So why would
Until the Matrix movie came out.
Right. Why would aliens do that? And the people who translated the code got pretty creative with it. Fragments of words and no coordinates is the actual translation. They just filled in the blanks however they wanted.
Right.
Also, the flash of light and then the binary code and the vision is the plot of an X-Files episode called The Conduit, which aired in 1993. And Peniston, remember, shared his binary code crap in 2010.
Right. And you know that dude watched the X-Files.
Of course he did. He thinks he's Mulder and he wanted to bang Scully.
Oh, he ain't gonna bang anybody.
Look, Peniston's the worst type of guy. Because you take a real thing that happened, you embellish it so much it sounds like a fucking clown show.
Right.
I do think there was a UFO that flew over Rendlesham Forest.
Yes.
Yeah. I think it was witnessed by several people.
But everything else.
I do believe Holt's version that he released his recording that they saw a beam of light and all of that shit. I believe that.
Right.
Everything else is literal horseshit.
But then we'll never know because everyone's just so full of shit these days. Oh my God, I'm still mad about Tom DeLonge.
Yeah, I am too. He's a disinfo agent.
Because that movie was just so dumb. The dialogue was so...
And I know it costs money to make it. And he could have just given that money to me. And I'd spend it better.
Yeah.
I'd make something cool. I'd make a lot of soap or some art or some cool jewelry. And then I'd punch him in the nuts.
Punch him in the nuts. That's the best thing you could do.
If you guys can't tell, I'm bitter about the UFO thing right now.
It's gotten too dumb. I mean, I'm still watching it because of this dumbness, but it's definitely 90 Day Fiancé, the UFO version.
It is. It's like getting weirder every minute. They're like, not only do they abduct people, but they're actual living giant buttholes with googly eyes. Like, it's that level of dumb shit.
This is stuff in the Peru still being crazy. I don't know.
Yes, worse.
I know I saw some updates, but didn't watch the video. What happened?
The attacks have gotten worse. Like, they left a girl catatonic again.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah. She can't speak.
Wow.
She's awake, but she's not responding.
Wow.
And, like, one guy was talking about how they have, like, flashing lights on their bodies.
Weird.
And that when he shot his 22 gauge shotgun at, like, point blank range, it just vanished.
The thing?
Yeah. The pelicaris. The face peeler.
Yeah, fuck those things.
I believe those people. Yeah. Because they're not getting anything from it. And if if at this point they're lying to get some bread and hustle.
Let them hustle, yeah.
I ain't gonna hate the player. I hate the game, not the player.
Right. Game is capitalism.
Get your bread, guys in Peru.
Yes.
Do it. Lie more. Just be like, man, this alien came out, shot my wife in the tits.
Wow.
And then we fought, and then he slapped me with his huge wiener, and he flew to the moon. Like, just make up stuff.
Boogerfoot.
And then Boogerfoot showed up, and we all sang around a campfire with a banjo.
Dang, and he peed on me.
Well, that's what Boogerfoot does. He's got a water sports fetish. Oh. It's very shameful. Oh, he's cast out of the family.
If we lose all of our listeners, they're like, this is not the pod for me.
Like, I heard a lot of very upsetting things, and I must go. I understand. It's okay.
Right.
You know what else is okay?
The sponsor. We don't have any sponsors.
No. Business time.
Business time.
I'm my own sponsor.
Yeah.
If you listen out there, y'all, if you do a podcast and you don't have any sponsors, be your own fucking sponsor.
Right.
Yeah.
Here's a commercial for this podcast at the end of this podcast.
About the podcast. About the people who make the podcast.
And Boogerfoot.
It is like sponsorception.
Whoa.
But are you a small business and would you like to be a sponsor of this podcast? We don't want money. We just want to help each other get better.
Hold on. We do want money. No, not for this.
We don't want money from little small businesses.
Yeah.
That's silly. What we'll do, though, is like, talk about your products, do a little commercial for you. And be sure, though, that this is something you make with your little sweet angel baby hands, not no MLM stuff. Don't resell things.
No drop shipping from China.
We want you to make it. So if you do that and you're a small business, please contact me because I'm rad and we'll figure something out. Also, we have a Patreon.
A Patreon, you say?
I used to call it Patreon because I'm full of shit.
Yes.
And I'm pretentious and a know-it-all.
Right.
But I quit. Patreon. I just don't want to call it Patreon, but I'm really resisting. Anyway, we have many different tiers. We do 3 to 4 extra episodes every month there. We do like little post-episode discussions. You guys can vote on our monthly themes, which is really cool. You can also vote on which Patreon episodes I will cover. My next case I am covering is the Kyron Harmon case, the little 7-year-old boy who went missing in Portland, Oregon. Very weird case, very sad. So if that's interesting to you, join us. It's very fun there.
Yeah.
And then this is the big one. Tuesday. Mark your calendar. Because at midnight on Tuesday, not midnight on Wednesday. Remember the clock roll over.
I don't know anything about clocks, but go on.
Yes, we can't measure time in bananas, unfortunately.
Since the time isn't measured in a banana, I don't know what it is.
Yes, we're Americans. We can't help it.
No.
It's our education system is very bad.
All fruit-based.
It is fruit-based many times, yeah. My fall collection launches on my website of my soap.
No banana soap.
And there's many secret soaps I haven't talked about.
Dang.
Oh, yes. And I have some beautiful jewelry as well. And I know when I say I make beautiful jewelry, you're picturing like some really dumb crap.
It is not wire wrap, I'll tell you.
No. What is it, Merris?
Well, you do weird witch stuff where you take an actual object like a cicada bug or a leaf or something else, and you somehow, with your witch magic, plate it in copper. So the real item, the real thing is inside of the thing.
That's right.
And it's crazy.
It's called electroform, and it's not witchcraft, it's science.
No, it's witchery.
From the Victorian
I'd burn you
era.
at the stake for it.
Oh, they would have in the day, yeah,
for sure.
But it's a combination of using sulfuric acid.
It looks like you making meth.
I'm not.
But no.
Copper sulfate, which is blue, so it looks... It's not Breaking Bad. I don't even think meth's blue. Anyway.
It isn't Breaking Bad.
That's... Merris's knowledge of meth ends at Breaking Bad, okay?
Okay, yeah. Yeah, it sounds like I smoke it, but I don't. I'm just natural like this.
I have smoked meth. It's not blue like that.
I don't know
anything.
Yellowish.
Mine was yellowish. Anyway... Aside from the meth, what did I say? Oh, yeah, and electricity. Add electricity to that, and then you plate things in copper, and it's very fucking cool. Would you like to learn how to do it? Well, guess what? I'm going to be teaching little digital classes.
Whoa!
And I will go step by step on how we make a really... It's just going to be a couple little videos and an ebook that I wrote on the subject.
Dang.
Dang, indeed. Also, still doing tarot readings. Please note there is now a 48-hour to 72-hour wait because I have a lot. But that doesn't mean you can't get one because my sale is going to end on my tarot readings on, I would say, the end of next week.
Sale ends soon.
So if you want, the general readings are 15, romantic, like relationship readings are 10, financial readings are 10, and if you want Merris to paint you a star chart, which I've talked about before, what is a star chart, Merris?
Well, I do watercolor paintings with my own two handses, and I make maps, and I specifically make celestial maps so I can pick a date of your choice in the past or the future and illustrate it as a map.
And it's kind of an old-timey illustration. If you want to know what those look like, you can go to his Instagram and see examples there.
It's Marquee Moth.
It's in the link tree, too.
Yeah.
You just click it.
Yeah.
Don't be afraid of the link tree. It's just little buttons you can click. Very fun. Yeah. So that will do for $45, and you get a full tarot reading as well, and a cool painting shipped to your house.
That's right.
I can't ship Monday because it's Columbus Day. I got confused
Colonizer Day, yeah.
Yeah. I got confused last week. I thought it was last week. Well, I was wrong.
No.
But no fear. Shipping will occur on Tuesday.
Yeah.
And throughout the whole week. So patience, please. Because I am one person with a lot of orders.
Yeah.
And anyway, but the biggest thing I want to announce is my Halloween mystery box. Do you want to know what that is?
I have no idea because it's a mystery.
You get a jewelry. One of the cool copper electroform jewelry.
Oh.
And I'll have pictures on my website. And you guys are probably thinking, that sounds weird and dumb. But once you see it, you'll be like, it's rad as shit. And I'm like, I know. And it will have some candles, bath bombs, soaps, perfume, other jewelry, because I make other kinds of jewelry too. It'll have a little bit of art in there. It'll have a cute little crochet guy.
Dang.
Like a little plague doctor or a little Baphomet. Yeah. These are $100, but they will come with like $300 worth of stuff.
Yeah.
It will be a huge box. It'll probably weigh 5 pounds.
Yeah.
Or more. So I want to pack it full of goodies, and it's going to be packaged so cute. It'll have some Cruelty merch in there as well. This is an exclusive offer for my Cruelty listeners.
Yeah.
It will not be available on the website.
Dang.
So if you want it, please get it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Message me.
Do it.
My email will be there. And what I say was, how much did I say it was?
$100.
It is $100. Sorry, I spaced. I was like, did I say it was $300?
No, it's $300 worth of stuff.
It is a $300 retail value. Like, maybe even more. Like, I promise you, it is more than double for what you're going to pay.
Yeah.
It will be loaded with treasure.
Loaded with crap.
You'll have, if you want it, you'll here's the deal, too. Since there's going to be scented things in there, please let me know several things if you're going to order this from me in an email, okay? Let me know if you don't like a certain smell. For example, cinnamon, because I don't want to send you a bunch of items that you don't like.
No.
I want it to be a surprise.
A happy surprise.
But a happy surprise. I've ordered mystery boxes before and been literally disappointed with every item. I don't want that to happen to you.
Mm-mm.
Also, if you don't have pierced ears, let me know. If you hate necklaces, some people don't like them. Let me know.
Allergies.
Please send me your ring size. That's important.
Yeah.
Can't give you a ring if you don't.
We can't marry you if we don't know your size.
And then we're not married.
Then we're not married.
Then you're not a throuple with us, are you?
Jesus, you can't risk that.
No. So, there you go. Unless you have any more business time, I'm out.
I don't have any business except in the toilet.
Oh, hey, we have a Discord.
Yeah, whoa.
If you, tell you what, jump in the Discord and we can talk about your mystery box and I customize it just for you.
It'd be less of a mystery.
It won't.
It'll be a wonder box.
It'll be a wonder box, but it'll be full of things and surprises and awesome. And I package super cute. We send little treats like hand blended teas. I send like little biscuits or cookies. So if you have any allergies to anything, do let me know, because I would hate to kill you.
No, I mean,
while that would be a surprise,
yeah, it would be a mystery, wouldn't it?
It would be the final surprise, and that would make me quite sad. We also have merch. We have T-shirts, hoodies, coffee mugs. That's in our link tree too. But other than that, if all you can do to support this podcast is listen, thank you. And next week, y'all stay tuned, because I will have a discount code for the website as well.
Yes.
In fact, why don't I say what it is right now?
I don't know what it is.
You don't know what it is?
No.
It's tea soap.
Whoa.
TEASOAP.
Thank you for spelling. I can't.
Yeah. All caps.
Yeah.
And that's the code, and it will get you a 10% discount at checkout.
Yeah.
Yeah. But hey, love you guys. Thank you so much, and we will see you next time.
Bye.
Us on your social media platform of choice. Linktree/cruelty has all of the links. Check out our Patreon for exclusive episodes, merch, ad-free episodes, live ghost hunts, and much more. Please be sure to subscribe. New episodes are uploaded weekly. Thank you so much. See you next time. Music and production by Libby.